Lawrence Kohlberg's Theory of Moral Development by Jesse Cornelius and Rachel McMahon. Lawrence Kohlberg began developing his theory by doing an experiment that he called the Heinz Dilemma. In Kohlberg's research, he gave boys ranging in ages of 10 and 16 a series of moral story problems that he referred to as dilemmas. The dilemmas were about people in situations who had to make difficult decisions. Watch the following video that shows kids from different age groups responding to the Heinz Dilemma.
Now, should Heinz, the husband, break into the lab and steal the drug for his wife?
Yes.
Why?
Because his wife needs it. Well, because she's dying. He should do it for his wife.
Okay.
I think Heinz should break into the lab and steal the drug because a life in jail is worth a life living.
I think the Heinz should not break into the lab because maybe if he waits like a little bit longer, the price will go down and then he could buy it later for his wife. I guess no, because stealing's wrong, even no matter the circumstances. But I guess no, I guess he shouldn't have broken in there.
Okay.
According to Kohlberg, the way people go about answering these dilemmas would determine their level of moral development. Kohlberg divided his stages of moral development into 3 levels of moral reasoning: pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. The pre-conventional level ranges from ages birth to 2. Children base their decisions on how to avoid punishment and how to receive rewards. This level further is broken down into 2 stages: obedience and punishment, and individualism and exchange. In the punishment-obedience stage, the child's concern is for themselves. They want to do what's right to avoid punishment. When asking a child about the Heinz Dilemma in this stage, their response would be that he should not steal a drug because he could get caught or that his wife might get mad. Kohlberg once said physical consequences of an action determine its goodness or badness regardless of the human meaning or value of these consequences. Avoidance of punishment and unquestioning deference to power are valued in their own right, not in terms of respect for underlying moral order supported by punishment and authority. Here is a brief video on the second stage of pre-conventional level, individualism and exchange.
Hey Marvin, is that the last Rice Krispie treat?
Yeah, Nigel, it is.
Really?
Yeah, sorry. I got the last one already.
You know how bad I like those, right?
Nigel, I called dibs. You snooze, you lose.
Is there any way I could trade you free with this fruit snack by any chance?
I think we could do it.
Really? Thank you, man.
Pleasure doing business with you, Nigel.
As you can see in stage 2, the child's concern is what is in it for me. A possible response to the Heinz Dilemma from a child in stage 2 would be that it is right for Heinz to steal the drugs because it can cure his wife and then she can cook for him. Next we move on to the conventional level, which is where a person has decided on his or her own that it is best to uphold the rules of society. This level is broken down into stages 3 and 4, interpersonal relationships and maintaining social order. Stage 3 is also known as the good boy, nice girl orientation. Lawrence Kohlberg stated, "Good behavior is that which pleases or helps others and is approved by them. There is much conformity to stereotypical images of what is majority or natural behavior. Behavior is frequently judged by intention. He means well becomes important for the first time. One earns approval by being nice. The concern in this stage is what will people think of me, and the desired approval of the group. A possible response to the Heinz dilemma would be that yes, Heinz should steal the drug. He might go to jail for a while for stealing, but his in-laws would think that he is a good husband. In stage 4, law and order, the concern lies in what is right, obligations to one's family, friends, or groups, and obeying the law of society. Here's a brief clip demonstrating stage 4.
Hi, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes, Marvin?
My family and I are taking a vacation to Djibouti, so I'm going to be gone all of next week.
Well, you know, Marvin, we do have that big project due next week that you've known about for months.
I did know about it, Mrs. Doubtfire, and I already have my project done.
Oh. Oh, well, this is marvelous.
Thank you, Mrs. Doubtfire. I worked extremely hard on it.
Oh, and it shows.
Well, thank you.
You've always been a model student. That's why you're my favorite.
Finally, we come to the post-conventional level, where individuals follow a more universal code. Here, you will find stages 5 and 6, social contracts and individual rights, and universal principles.
Watch this next clip of two adults demonstrating the 5th stage.
So did you hear about that Eric Robert case? Yeah, the one that got the death penalty for killing that prison guard or whatever?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Really? Well, don't you think that's kind of being hypocritical to kill someone as a punishment for killing?
Well, no, but because in an interview he said that he would kill again to get his freedom. He didn't care who was in his way.
Yeah, but that's kind of like a get out of jail free card, isn't it? I mean, we're killing them so they're not suffering here in this world.
Okay, but do you feel the same about that guy that raped and killed that 9-year-old girl?
Well, I know it's a different situation, but it's still we're killing someone. My views don't change regardless of what they did.
Well, we'll just agree to disagree.
Okay.
That short video shows two adults expressing their opinion on the death penalty. Although the law in some states say that the death penalty is legal, some people don't agree with this law and protest against it. The adults in that video show example of someone in the 5th stage of the post-conventional level social contract and individual rights. They are expressing their moral values that don't necessarily support the law.
In stage 6, the concern is moral principles, or do unto others as you would have them undo to you. In this last stage, a person answering the Heinz dilemma would say that Heinz should steal the drug to save his wife because preserving human life is a higher moral obligation than preserving property.
Kohlberg's theory of moral development came with some criticisms. Some claim that his stages are culturally biased. Research shows that Kohlberg developed a stage model that was based on the Western philosophical tradition and then was applied to non-Western cultures without considering the different moral outlooks each might have. Others say that Kohlberg's theory did not consider children's psychosocial development. Although their values differ from adult values, they could be just as strong and valid. Carol Gilligan observed Kohlberg's stages and said that the stages were sex-biased. She argued that the stages failed to represent the female voice on their morals. Kohlberg's original sample was done with all boys, which could have led him to not show the importance of nurturance and relationships, which may be moral values, to girls. Kohlberg once said, "Essentially, social education is moral education, and moral education is preparation for citizenship." I think that this quote will always remind us that teachers are not only giving students an education, but also they are preparing them for the real world after school. Someday, when we are teachers, we will keep in mind that teaching students good morals and good behavior will benefit them in their future as citizens.